Alright, I am here. I see GgMaChine and I know Iba is around because Iba was already around, so we have nothing to worry about. It is not September yet. That starts in 1 hour and 4 minutes. You enjoyed it? Well, that's good. This is going to be our night, guys. We have Iba GgMaChine, obviously that's live. Trigger Bunny will also be live. It is very late. Why is my camera gone here? It doesn't really matter. Trigger Bunny is live. Reynor Classic has already been played. I have the replays. I obviously don't know the outcome. I don't know the score. I've got 5 replays, but I told them always send me 5 replays. Even if it's 3-0, 0-3, doesn't matter. Give me 5 games. So we have 5 games, and then as soon as I am done watching this, casting this, then we'll get ready for Serral Clem. Very nice of both Serral and Clem that they were willing to play today. That makes me happy. And that's going to make for hopefully a very fun, exciting Friday before I will be gone for 2 weeks. Thank you to Vera91 for the 35 months. 35, you know what they say, mate. That's a lot. Obviously, we're going to kick things off with Iba against the GgMaChine. The reason why I went for this is because I think they are the 2 best 16-year-old video gamers on the planet. At least in the video game that we enjoy. Maybe there are some other magical talents out there. I don't know. How old is Dunk? Is he also 16? Then it's a little bit of a tough claim, right? How old is Dunk? Wikipedia. Must be. He's 18. See, he's old. Our kids are still young. They've got their entire future ahead of them. And they both play Zerg. ZVZ is obviously a fun matchup that we don't get to see super often. We got to see it once at the, or not once, maybe more than once at the Esports World Cup. But I think in the eyes of many, the best series at the Esports World Cup was the ZVZ. And obviously I like both Iba, I like both GgMaChine. So I think it's just going to be very fun. And it's also very cool for them to be playing on the same night as Serral, Clem, and all the other Basilisk boys. Of course, number 100 had to be a full Basilisk lineup. I know some people wanted to see me play first, but it just doesn't really work. Because then you have to see it from a different point of view. Then you would have to have another caster, or they have to be a different channel. Also, I can get into a bit of a grumpy mood if I get absolutely ruffle stumped 3-0. So that would be a very bad way to start my night, and I don't really want that. I'm always down to play some show matches on a different day when I know that's all I have to do, but playing into casting is not ideal. Reynor Clem being 16 felt like yesterday. Reynor Clem and Goblin, mate. Don't forget about that. It's good to see you, by the way, mate. Who is this Roddy guy? I mean, I haven't gone anywhere. Sure, we went to EWC. We went to Home Story Cup. But since then, I haven't really gone anywhere, no? Have I been gone? I went to Cologne. If you, that was like a 3-day trip. A little trip to the Intel Extreme Masters. Well, that's all I did. No, I don't think that's quite the way to go about it. And then on top of that, if I wanted to play, then I would have to lower the bitrate, and then the entire evening would be in low quality, and then people will get upset. Why does the stream look so bad? I was like, well, that's because I don't like to play in 6K bitrate. Thanks for the super content. Thank you, Daniel. Make sure to thank Basilisk, guys, because without them, I absolutely would have never, ever been able to do 100 of this. That goes without saying. You know, we probably would have been able to scrap a couple together. 2, 3, maybe 4 if we were feeling generous. Not 100. So could not have done it without the big guys. My gamers are ready. It is 6 p.m. sharp. Look at these kids. They are so professional. Doesn't that spark joy? Oof, you got an ad on accident. I hope you enjoyed it. Why is my screen black, guys? This would be a very, very bad night to have a black screen. 100 what? Editions of the Big Brain Bouts. 100 times we gifted out at least 500 bucks, but a couple of times it was way more because we had an end of the year edition, we had a Christmas edition, so at least 50k, but technically a little bit more. But who's keeping track? So if GgMaChine wins this trio, are we going to see Basilisk GgMaChine? That is not a promise that I can make. Yes, we got a promotion, but that is not quite the power that I have. We did rename our account, in case any of you guys were confused about why I was playing earlier under a weird name. That is because the GgMaChine was able to defeat Clem in an impossible game. And I said I would rename my ladder account to GgMaChine Goat. That didn't quite fit, but we did manage to fit GG Oat Machine. And if we play on a different account, we'll rename that one too. Alright. I am ready when you guys are. My game is... Good luck, have fun, kids. A long time ago, we ran a very special Sweet 16 tournament. But back then, a 16-year-old Clem, a 16-year-old Reynor, and a 16-year-old Goblin. I read Awesome somewhere, but Awesome was not 16, guys, when Clem and Reynor were 16. That is a long time ago. Those kids are 22 at this point. This is our new generation of 16-year-olds. And 2 kids that I'm very fond of. I think they're awesome. And oh my goodness, he's actually playing Protoss in game 1. I thought it was going to be a ZVZ. I was excited for a ZVZ. Apparently, we're going to kick the night off with a PVZ. Let's do it.
Let's get it on. Round 1. Fight.
Top right side of Tokamak. We are looking at the main base of our 16-year-old Zerg from Russia. I think he's an absolutely phenomenal gamer. It is the GgMaChine. Might still be a ZVZ later on. Obviously, there are no rules, guys, in the Big Brain Bouts. If he wants to play Protoss in game 1, that's fine. If he wants to go back to Zerg game 2, also fine. If he wants to play Terran and build some Cyclones in game 3, the world is his oyster. I'm okay with everything. In the bottom left side, he is playing under Washed Hipster, which I guess is a play on his name, Iba Hipster. I don't think he's washed. I think he's just getting started. Playing as Protoss. It is Iba. We're just going to call him Iba, of course. Thank you to Scheiblebier for the 81 months. Not quite like that, Maples. It was the All Random Monday. It was the 4th edition of the All Random Monday Cups that we had. And in the second to last round of the lower bracket, GgMaChine played a best of 1 against Clem. Clem got Zerg, GgMaChine got Terran. We had the worst start to a game ever. Betting was still open. Over 1 million channel points were bet on Clem Zerg. And then GgMaChine made a couple Blue Flame Hellions, killed 30-something drones, followed it up with Cyclones, and won a completely impossible game. And actually denied Clem access from entering the finals. Which was scenes and drama. Hello, Medic. Yeah, mate, something to get inspired by. I mean, you're a damn good video gamer too for your age. And never compare yourself too much. What do they say? Comparison is the thief of joy? Is that what it is? Something among those lines. Jeremy said it once. He put it very nicely. Be proud of what you are. You're a good kid too. And you've been successful. But yeah, these two are very special. Now that it's a PvZ opening, we're obviously going to expect relatively chill starts. What I love about ZVZ is that very often, like, basically anything past 18 drones, it gets exciting, and there can already be some aggression. PvZ is a fun matchup, but the starts can sometimes be a little bit slow. Until the first Adept is out, Oracle is out. Most of the time, not a whole lot of exciting stuff happens. GgMaChine is quite good when it comes to the activity of his units, so we'll keep an eye on it. But there's only so much you can do in the first 3 minutes of a little ZVP. Obviously, building too many units early is just bad for your economy. And unless we are having some fun in the lower leagues, we probably shouldn't do it. Double Adept with a third one on the way and an Oracle on the production tab. Nice Evo block. We're gonna let it finish up though. Good drone Serral, but now the Lynx actually don't have that much surface area. 2 is okay. 2 is not fantastic if you're Eva. It's not really what you're looking for. A really good start would be 4 or even 5. That'd be beyond amazing. 3 is normally what you kind of want if you suicide 2 Adepts. Now if you get 2 and a bit of lost mining time, doesn't mean it was the worst start ever. But of course, not exactly anything that's gonna make Eva start celebrating his 17th birthday anytime soon. Did not have a pylon here yet, but the Oracle's out in time, activate spells are beam, and we're all good to go. Thank you to Starkiller as well for the 7 months. Hope all is good. And a Legends. First Mape. Actually, first Bully, obviously. Then Mape. Then Starkiller. You know it's a special Friday when they're all stopping by. What's next? Neep is saying hello? Maddie Eyes, oh my goodness. Would a tournament where you play the opponent's race be a fun concept? Yeah, be decently fun. Probably favor Clem a little bit, but it'd be definitely pretty fun. I think you can do a lot of fun stuff. As long as you don't take it too serious, I think you can do a lot of funny and silly stuff. Just don't look too much into those results and just make it a good time. I think this is technically a very good time to run some fun stuff. Because other than maestros of the game, there isn't anything that's like massive for the guys right now to look forward to. So, plenty of room on the calendar to get creative and come up with some fun stuff. That's why we ran the all-random tournament for 5 weeks, and I had a really good time with it. It's not something that I would say, like, let's start it again tomorrow, but it was just really good fun. Excellent save here by GgMaChine, as that queen was tanking for quite some time, but it does live. 2 oracles lose a lot of their energy, they took some damage, did not get the kill. Can we get another 4K 4520? We absolutely can, mate. If you organize it, I'll cast it. How does that sound? But please wait 2 weeks. I will probably not be streaming tomorrow because I still need to pack. And I have a bunch of other stuff to do. So this will be my last stream. It is going to be a long stream. We also have some F1 scheduled after the night of Starcraft. But after this I'll be gone. And I'll be back somewhere around the 12th, maybe 13th, something like that. We'll see how it all goes. Now I'm going to South Korea. If I would not have gone to South Korea, I would have obviously gone to Wadi's wedding. Vicky, my waifu, is going to Wadi's wedding, but I will not be going. I'm going to South Korea, baby. Have some barbecue. Drink some soju. Cast some poker. It's not a bad life. Couple of adepts heading into the natural killing. 4 drones at first. Can we make it 5? No, we cannot. We did remake a... we didn't remake, but we added an extra oracle. Iba's playing pretty good. But it does feel like it's on the edge at the moment. It's actually maybe a little inspired by classic super early storm here. Honestly, even just Zerglings are scary. If the oracles don't have any energy, we have literally nothing that's really good at the moment. It's definitely not vacation. It is a work trip. But I like to combine my work trips with a little vacation. Link's getting on top of the 4th base, getting a cancel. GgMaChine is macros looking mighty fine, guys. Hive is halfway done. Bunch of Hydras on the way. 87 drones, plus 1 melee. Lurk it then. I mean, what more can you really ask for? No, it is a work trip. I mean, my flight is getting paid, my hotel is getting paid, and I'm getting paid to do a job there. Like, I think that qualifies as a work trip, guys. Like, I don't know if you guys ever have too many holidays where they do all those things for you, but it absolutely is a work trip. It's just different kind of work. Well, 8 minutes in and a bunch of lurkers on the way. I know Iba's had a pretty good setup, and he hasn't lost any key units, like barely any oracles or something have gone down, 0 oracles. 1 stalker is basically the only really valuable unit, but I would still be a little uncomfortable being in Iba's spot. I guess this is just where it comes down to confidence, right? And believe in your own ability to win games like this. Iba knows with the way that he has played that there is a good chance that these are the scenarios he's going to find himself in. Well, now it's time to deliver. I would not want to be in his spot or his shoes, but if he likes it, let's see what he can get done. We do have a couple of zealots getting on top of this base, and the doors are relatively wide open. Lings are looking for a surround. Every single High Templar gets surrounded. They do morph into Archons, but with a bunch of Lurkers and Hydras nearby, I actually expect most of these Archons to die. So the zealots were very successful, but losing every single High Templar and a bunch of the Archons, probably not really worth it. And 20 drones in a base is big. Thank the Lord for energy recharge now, right? So you wipe in a couple of High Templars and you'll have a bunch of storms to work with. Perhaps it's okay. Oh no, I will love it, Kvek. But it's not quite the same as a holiday. Holidays are different. When I go to Vegas, that's a holiday. This one is just a little bit different. I don't like that Iba has moved away again from any sort of high ground, or maybe this was the high ground that he wanted to defend, but his army is so fragile right now. And I'm afraid that Iba is kind of dead, guys. Like, yes, he's got 81 workers, yes, he's got double robo, and he's warping in extra immortals, lands a big fat storm, but now he's going to be the one who is forced to run into those lurkers. The Zealot run by was fantastic. I don't know if you can really justify losing every single High Templar in the center of the map. I mean, if Iba shows a lot of respect to me, a GgMaChine shows a lot of respect to that army of Iba, maybe because a lot of his units were low on HP. He's like, you know what? I don't want to take the risk that a few Zealots come in from the right angle and they distract my lurkers, and then suddenly Immortals do get on top of my lurkers. I'm going to disengage. By disengaging, he does give Iba time to get some value out of that Fleet Beacon and Stargates and Tempest Tech. And then we'll of course have a completely different game. And then it may actually look kind of good for Iba. Now the previous fight went mega on the side of GgMaChine, so just because the game looks good numbers wise, or in theory. That's pretty late at Reynor, by the way, for how quick that hive was. He's taking notes, guys, copying the final. Oh no! Oh, that is way too risky. Sure, we landed one, but way too risky. Accurate Stop says Iba is cooking. Well, then you look at Starcraft very, very, very differently than I do, my friend. I don't think he's cooking all that hard, even though that is a very nice storm, but he's losing a lot of oracles, he's losing his immortals, he's losing his oracles, he's losing his zealots. Where are these tempests? We desperately need to start getting some value out of these tempests. Otherwise, there really is nothing to look forward to. One High Templar with one storm is basically what we are relying on. He's swapped in two more, but it's going to take a little while before they have energy. Hydras will find a nice spot on the left side of that Nexus. The cannon helps out a little bit. We need storms and we need them. No, I think Hydra's too good, man. Too many Hydras, not enough storms. And Hacker stops at Iba is cooking. Well, yeah, he is cooking. Kind of like how I was cooking when I was living together with DeMusliM in Cologne. And let me tell you, he was not a very big fan of my cooking. And that is when he became the chef of the house. And I was just responsible for getting some groceries. This is not looking very hard. Yeah, this replay to Mixer. Mixer would have definitely said that GgMaChine is dead. A couple of times over. Honestly, Mixer might even say right now GgMaChine is dead. He's gonna see a bunch of High Templars, he sees 3 Tempests, and he's like, that's it. The game is over. I don't think there is anything that GgMaChine can do. No, I did not almost burn down any house, or we didn't have a house. We rented an apartment back then. I'm just not a very good cook, guys. We all have our qualities and specialties in life, and cooking is not really one of them for me. Maybe one day, when I grow older and wiser and I really take my time for it, it will be an art that I can get excited over and appreciate and get better. Are the doors open? The doors are wide open. Trying to figure out where that gap was. This is absolutely awful for Iba. Even though we do have a cannon here and there, but Lings with Adrenal Glands, they really just don't care much about cannons. As Hydras again get underneath Oracles. I love how good he was at keeping the Oracles alive in the first 7 minutes. And now we've lost 5 in a 14-minute game. Mixu is, no, not the biggest ZVP fan. Well, Mixer just very quickly believes in the ability of every Protoss to be as good as Reynor parting in their prime and close out every game to perfection. Hello, Ember Drake. Thank you so much, mate, for the 93 months. And celebrating on this Friday with us. 100 Fridays. Oh, this is absolute hell for the Protoss, but Iba might be able to spin it into this game is hell for the Zerg. It was a bit of a similar scenario, to be honest. Maybe that one looked even a little bit worse than this one. It was an Alcyone. Was it a Chem against Disc? Disc had like 22 probes, no mining bases, 4 carriers and 3 tempests. And he's like, this game is hell. Like, I'll mix it. It really wasn't. Scuffler, thank you so much, mate. That is amazing, but I wish you would have waited 45 minutes. I really appreciate it. That's fantastic. But if you waited 45 minutes, we can hit the jackpot. Super, super sweet and generous of you. Regardless. And GgMaChine is not being very sweet and generous to Iba over here, as he's trying to kill even more oracles. But actually, Iba's army is becoming kind of serious again, though. Is this game out? Corrupted? Do we have any oracles here? No. High Templars? High Templars, keep on storming then, mate. Actually, he's going to clean up everything on the ground. The problem is that we just don't have enough anti-air to really deal with all these Corruptors. Good job, by the way, bringing Overseer as well, allowing the Corruptors to snipe the Observers there towards the end. I mean, sick round fight. One Archon now is actually going to try to save this Nexus. There is Shield Battery, Energy Recharge. Losing every single Corruptor here is a tiny bit questionable. Is honestly a tiny bit questionable. This Archon is starting to turn into an absolute MVP. We have double Nidus attempt in the main base. He is going to save it, guys. What a champ. Man kills like 6 Corruptors alone. We do have a Nidus in the main. 20 Hydras on the production tab. Kids are so good, eh? The 2 finest, the 16-year-old StarCraft 2 players on the planet are putting on a bit of a show here on Tokamak. Oh, the Lynx! No! Archon! Archon, you're the chosen one! And now the Lynx will burrow immediately, also deny a Neil Nexus from going down. We've got some detection, but... Ground army of GgMaChine is massive again. Units lost resource tab also shows us, guys, that this young man from Russia has just done a fantastic job in this game to trade. A Protoss losing slightly more resources than the Zerg, 17 minutes in. Hey, that's very, very, very impressive on the side of GgMaChine, if you ask me. And of course, Iba made some mistakes, and yes, Iba could have done some things better, but is that really the tone that we want to have today? No. Today, it's pure joy, happiness, excitement. Lurkers, pew pew pew, perhaps a little bit later on, who knows. Some justice. Few more High Templars getting in range of these Lurkers. The Lynx, no! I think that will do it. I think that will officially do it. That is exactly how Iba feels about game 1. A really fun game, impressive on both sides. In the end, it's the young man from Russia who takes the 1-0 lead. One thing that I did not mention yet at all is obviously that the prize pool is the way that it always is in the Big Brain Bouts, but I should still mention it. First series, we have 80 bucks on the line, 60 for the winner, 20 for the loser. Is that what we do? No, it's 60 for and 15. And then it's 80 and 20, and then it's 125, and then last but not least, it's 150 for the winner and 50 for the loser. So 75 in total for the first one, and the split is 60-15. Thanks again, Scuffler. I really, really appreciate it. But I wish we could have had the free roll on the jackpot. A good part about being a shoutcaster is that you always see the victory screen. Yeah, that is true. Are you suggesting that when I'm playing this game, I don't see that screen very often? If so, you are very correct. That is a really good analysis by you. I'm unfamiliar with that screen. Nah, we played 4 games today. We won 3. It wasn't even that bad, guys. It was kind of bad, but it wasn't that bad. Thank you, Dumpson, as well. And thank you, Swole, for the 7 months and 23 months. I hope all of you guys had a great August. And I hope we have a great Friday together. Let's do it. What are we playing? More ZVP. Okay.
Round 2. Fight.
Now I feel like I'm still stuck in the all-random Mondays where it's like, what race are they playing? Well... apparently it's going to be back-to-back a ZVP, top left side of Pylon, a small map. Or at least a short map when it comes to the rush distance. It is the GgMaChine from Russia. Taking the 1-0 lead. Great kit. And so is this man. It kind of feels like he's been around forever. Like GgMaChine is a bit of a newer name. Unless you're like an ultra diehard rider. You've been playing against him for years. But I feel like if you're casually tuning in from time to time, GgMaChine probably not a name that makes all the alarm bells go off. Iba, I do think, is a bit more of a household name, especially within Europe. He came up as a Zerg, but he's been enjoying a lot of Protoss over the last 12 months. This is Iba. Hello, Ryan. It's always time, mate. It is always time. Have you booked yet? I'm arriving Sunday night. You arriving Sunday night, or is it gonna be Monday? When do I get to meet you, mate? You're not dodging me, are you? Thank you, by the way, Big Paga, for the 32 months. Alright, Monday it is. I'm looking forward to it, mate. I wonder if Iba is comfortable with playing anything that does not open up with double adept oracle. I'm sure that he has experimented a little bit with adept void ray. I would really love to see something completely different. PvZ is a fun matchup, but with the way that the changes have gone through balance wise over the years, it feels like there's almost no other correct way to play it at the highest level. And these guys may not quite be classic or Serral, but they're incredibly good. And playing inferior strats then is something that their opponent can obviously take advantage of. And it's a little bit sad to see adept oracle almost every single game. That was the goal, Big Paga. Hey, Twilight Council, look at this. Look at this. Okay, I like it. Pylon. Shorter map, guys. Short rush distance. I might be very fond of this. Yeah, there's a reason why we couldn't do one a couple Fridays ago, because obviously Euthermal was running his 2v2 circuit, and I don't want to organize Big Brain Bouts while the 2v2 circuit is going on. Then there was a misunderstanding, because then I really thought it was going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and suddenly it was only Saturday and Sunday, but it was too late to really do something about it. Last week didn't quite work out, and I obviously wanted all the Basilisk players to play, so this was the Friday. I was like, alright, let's do it. It needs to get done. Number 99 was actually done before the Esports World Cup, if I recall that correctly. So it's been a little while. Good adapt movement here by Iba. Obviously, last game we kind of YOLO'd them into the main base. We killed 2 drones. I said it's like, okay, but it's obviously not what he was looking for. Now we kill 2 drones and we keep both of them alive. That is always what we are looking for. Resonating Glaive on the way, 3 extra gateways on the way. Now it is gonna get scouted rather early. But just because you scouted as a Zerg doesn't mean that this is going to be easy. Especially not because he was forced to take his natural over here at the 3rd rather than the regular natural. And that means that there is less creep, that means that walling off is going to be a bit harder, so we can't really do like the Spore Crawler trick, the burrow on burrow, or drop an Evo chamber and cancel it. And this is honestly going to be pretty damn difficult. It's a full wall up by Iba, look at that. Iba says, alright, I feel really confident about this game. One way that it could all go wrong is a bunch of Zerglings running into my natural main base. I want to make sure that I avoid it at all costs. And here we are. It's a serious amount of adepts, guys. Oh my god, he only has the 31 probes. Sweet. That is so little. That is so little. That probably allows him to hit a little bit earlier. I'm not sure how fond I am of this first shade. I'm not sure how fond I am about this build overall. Like, we are so committed. And so far, I really don't think it's going that great yet for Iba. Like, Iba basically needs to straight up win the game here, guys. I think we can deal a lot of damage. And I think we can force out a lot of units. But can we ever straight up win the game? We cancel the shade. That is not a fight that we can win. Canceling that shade is not the right call. Well, maybe we can save a couple of the adepts. Let this shade finish up. Maybe the Warp Prism can show up again, warp in more adepts. But GgMaChine could potentially just counter, guys. There is no Dark Shrine, no Stargate. Yes, there is a robot that could maybe build an Immortal. But a bunch of Roachling Ravager on the other side of the map, with or without Lair, with or without Roach Speed, would be incredibly freaking difficult to deal with. It is 8 adepts in total. I mean, Iba will be able to keep GgMaChine busy for a little while longer. This is risky though. Oh, Iba, I don't like this one at all. It seems like he was a bit more focused on the Warp Prism and the triple adept warping on the right side. The Warp Prism in some trouble now. Will live at least. It's just never good enough. Right now, it is just never good enough for Iba. No. I don't know. I feel like we could have done a very similar build that would have actually allowed us to transition a bit easier. Or maybe like we just chose very poor shades, right? The first one was already a bit questionable, but I think canceling this one when we were looking at an army that we could not really beat in the straight up fight was an even bigger mistake. Now we have to go full hacker is a top. Our Ukrainian random player can make some magic happen on 2 bases. 8.5 minutes in, we warp in a bunch of sentries, get a couple of immortals. Feel like that is basically what we have to do here, but you're just never gonna get this card basically. And honestly, you might just die in your natural. So have a couple of good force would go down. Did we even cancel that Nexus, guys? We did not cancel that Nexus. Oh, Iba. Our UK Zerg playing Protoss tonight is starting to look down at a very quick 0-2 deficit in this best of 5, but the winner will walk away with $60. This is not it. This has not been it so far for Iba. GG gets called. This young Russian kid, man. GgMaChine so good. 2-0. And it's... First game was very close, but this one was honestly quite convincing. I don't think there was a... I don't think there were many moments where I thought he'd be in trouble. Like, of course, he was forced to expand in an awkward way. He couldn't quite wall off, but the Overlord Scout was good. We also, like, I didn't really point it out, but there were Zerglings everywhere patrolling. It reminded me a little bit of, like, when we started to play Serral in the early days for his defense against the Adepts. But Ling on patrol at the 3rd base, Ling on patrol at the 4th base, 2 Lings in the center on patrol, 1 on the right side, 1 on the left side. Nothing was ever going to show up on GgMaChine's side of the map without him being aware of it. I kind of hope we get to see ZVZ. And that's honestly what I originally signed up for. Because we obviously already have a PVZ tonight. And that is a Reynor versus a Classic. Now that series has already been played. I've said it, but I don't know the score. And of course we're going to cast it like we don't know. Because we really don't know. I would never want to know. Knowing the outcome of games completely ruins my enjoyment. You think even Serral wasn't as good at this age? That honestly, I mean, obviously skill levels. Hey, CVZ. Skill has gone up so much over time, especially like how skilled players are mechanically. So yeah, there is a good chance that GgMaChine right now as a 16-year-old has better mechanics than Serral had when he was 16. But Serral didn't really peak when he was 16, right? Serral peaked a little bit later, not a whole lot later, but a tiny bit later than 16. I don't know. It would be really fun if we could time travel and take this GgMaChine from the year 2025, 16 years old, and put him back in that Sweet 16 tournament with Clem, Reynor, and Goblin when they were all 16. I think he would be able to hold his own. Honestly, I'm not saying that he would have won it, but I think this version of GgMaChine would absolutely be able to hold his own against 16-year-old Clem and Reynor and Goblin. But let's see how the ZVZ goes. Top right side already on match point here on this very special 100th anniversary edition of the Big Brain Bouts. It is the GgMaChine. What a kid, what a gamer. I'm starting to be very proud that my ladder account is named after him. The GG Oat Machine. And in the bottom left side, let's see if we can turn things around as we have gone back to our one true love. He made his name for himself and rose through the ranks as a young man from the UK playing as Zerg. We're back with the Zergs. It's Iba. Come on, Iba. I'm very excited for tonight, and I'm sure it's going to be great. One way or the other, we're always going to have a good night. But I kind of hope we don't start with a trio. That'd be a bit sad. And I wouldn't want it to be a trio. It was supposed to be close between these two gamers. Iba's Protoss is really good, but in my eyes, I mean, maybe that's more my heart rather than my conscious whatever. I feel like he's still a Zerg. And I've always been a slightly bigger fan of his Zerg than I've been of his Protoss. I'm very impressed by his Protoss. I think it's damn good, and he's clearly very good at a lot of things that are required to play Protoss at a high level. But I've still always just enjoyed his Zerg a bit more. Maybe that's also because we just have so many freaking Protosses in Europe that it's a lot easier to be very fond of a young Zerg that's doing some special things. I've legit always thought it was just a little bit better, and it suits him better. He's talented, and that's why he's been able to pick up Protoss so quickly and play it at such a high level. I think Zerg is his one true race. We need more bugs. Too many aliens, not enough bugs. Both players going up to 3 bases, taking their triangle. The circling speed is halfway done. Not those bugs, Alex. Those are the wrong bugs. Every other block. GgMaChine with an early Roach Warren as well, guys. Dropping the Roach Warren in the back of the natural. Iba has not seen this yet. For now, Iba is droning, and it seems like the GgMaChine is gearing up for some aggression. It is hard to be very aggressive in the early game in CVP. It's a lot more doable in CVZ. Iba finds one of the first morphing Bailings on this side of the map. Does not have enough firepower though to deny it. Does have his own 2 defensive Bailings, so here we go. Can Iba keep it together? Okay, that was not a bad trade, of course, but now there are 8 roaches on the production. We need to stop droning, guys. We desperately need to stop droning. What GgMaChine is doing here is that he's like, hey, I'm distracting you, I'm in your face, a little bit of link bane pressure. You better don't mess up. And Iba is full focused on his defense, where he doesn't want to mess up. But because he's been so focused on defending, he's not scouting on the other side of the map. And now he sees a bunch of roaches already making their way over. And I don't know how we're going to hold this, man. I would almost say let's try to hold our natural. Because it's 40 drones against 27. Let's just build a bunch of spines near our natural and try to buy some time, because we are not going to kill these roaches. Is this really GgMaChine just speed running? I mean, a couple of Banes is just not good enough, right, against this many roaches. The Roach Warren is now 85-90% done on the side of Iba. This spine is going to get cancelled immediately. Obviously, the more time that Iba can buy, the better that it will be. And the Queens are kind of doing their thing. We have one spine finishing up. Iba. Guys, are we allowed to dream? I think we're absolutely allowed to dream. Well, that went so much better than I ever thought it would. Now GgMaChine does have a couple of extra units running to the other side of the map and has slowly closed the worker deficit, but I'll take that. Honestly, I'll absolutely take that. I think that's a damn good hold. Yeah, well done. Very, very, very well done. Great queen movement. Did not let those queens get surrounded early. Did not let them get picked off. Didn't even lose a single one right now. Just lost Lings and Banes. I mean, that's kind of what they're for. Legit impressive. Leyline is not the largest map out there, and he had 40 drones against 27 by the time that those Lings started to run to the bottom left side of the map. Can't really say that GgMaChine didn't commit, because I think he was quite committed for a while. Yes, eventually he started building drones. But Iba obviously was mining more and continued to mine more throughout the entire battle. GgMaChine is the one who's stacking up a little bit earlier now. He does have the hive, lair that's already done. Maybe some base. That's a really good Evo chamber block. And he is going to have a +1 missile attacks a bit earlier too. Iba did cancel. He built a second spine here for a little while, decided to cancel it. It's kind of a shame for Iba that he made so many roaches by the time he didn't really need the roaches anymore. And that's obviously very easy for us to say. It's a lot more difficult for him, especially when you're down 0-2 in a best of 5. Feeling the pressure, probably a series that he was quite excited for and knew it was going to be difficult. But the last thing you want is lose 2 games with Protoss and then lose in 5 minutes in the ZVZ. But making all these units and not really getting any value out of it is now obviously starting to put us a bit behind. Like, I understand a few roaches, but I think we've made a lot of them. Like 9 is... Man, 5 extra banelings too. Where are these 5 banes? Are we gonna go for a baneling drop, guys? We got it, right? Now we're going up to 4 bases while GgMaChine is still on 3. Not sure if this is a fight that we can easily take, but if the upgrades are even and we have defender's advantage, we should be alright. Roach numbers do heavily favor GgMaChine. Banelings crashing in, doing decent damage, but we're gonna have to drop some transfuse. Iba needs units and he needs them now. He's got 16 roaches on the way. Can we transfuse the spine? Unfortunately, we cannot. He will hold against these units, but there is a spire on the way. And it kind of feels every single time Iba is done taking care of one fire, another fire is breaking out elsewhere. First not totally ready for the early roach attack, then not really realizing it was over, and now not realizing this attack is coming. And by the time we can deal with it, there's a new problem, and it is the spire. 4 queens. Maybe Iba is... Okay, Iba is scouted. Yeah. Don't know if we can really get too adventurous with a Dropalords. Not exactly sure what we want to do with it. He got 4 queens. Shipping 4 queens to the other side of the map. I mean, it's a play, but it's very risky. I do like the continuous scouting here on the side of the young man from the UK. The longer we wait, the more mutas, of course, will come out. But we got a Hydralisk Den now. I mean, like 3 or 5 mutas are not just gonna end this game. What they could, however, do is obviously just catapult GgMaChine further and further ahead. But we have some tech to deal with it. The 6th drone disadvantage is not nice, especially not when you take into consideration losing an extra overlord or 2 against the mutas, losing a couple of additional workers. It is going to be tough. Thank you, Phaser. We're going to do our best. I believe a little bit in Iba's chances. Like, I don't think this is game over. I do also agree with the sentiment of GgMaChine is ahead. But it's not that bad, I think. The closer Iba gets to maxing out, I want to say the more solid that it gets. Especially because he's the double Evo chamber player. We've got Carapace and range on the way. Seems like GgMaChine is just gonna hit with a crazy amount of roaches, couple of ravages, and +2. We'll have a little upgrade advantage. Contaminate would be amazing here. One of the best moves that Iba could currently pull off is send an Overseer into the natural and try to delay this upgrade for as long as we can. Obviously, having to split your units while having to deal with those mutas in the natural is difficult. Can Iba keep his hopes and dreams alive? Roach Hydra can absolutely be better than Roach Ravager, but Hydras just deal a lot of damage. But one downside is that you keep having to move away your units, unless you just move your units on top of your opponent. That is a little bit risky, but every single time GgMaChine fires with those corrosive balls, Iba is going to lose some DPS trying to micro against it. Iba's micro is really good though. GgMaChine still has a supply lead, but that's mostly because he's got 50 supply on the production tab. And anything that's on the production tab is not necessarily here yet. I think by the time that all those roaches make it to the other side of the map, Iba is now going to try to morph a couple of his low HP roaches into ravages. Can we hold? Honestly, it's a damn fun, impressive game so far coming out of Iba, but can Iba continue to hold? This is an adventurous dive. But he's got his own ravages. He can also spam some corrosive balls. He needs to dodge the... And it dodges it, not really. Now we are fighting right before we have group spines. Right before we've got our own +2 missile attacks. I'm not sure if I was a very big fan. The queens are going to make their way over. They're going to try to buy some time. 12 extra roaches on the way as more corrosive balls rain down from both sides. I think GgMaChine does this a little bit too much. It looks like Iba got a tiny bit too excited there, guys, on the right side. Fighting right before his own +2, right before the Hydra upgrade. He thought he saw an opportunity. Unfortunately, there was no opportunity as there were still so many units on the way for the other youngster as he gets a 3-0 clean sweep and says, let there be no mistake. I am the finest 16-year-old Starcraft 2 player on the planet. Well done, GgMaChine. That's really impressive. Even if some people said that was a bit expected because he gets higher MMR on the ladder. A trio like this, I think, is very, very impressive. This kid is getting better real quick, man. And he's obviously been getting better for a while, but he is starting to reach scary highs. Very well done. Very, very well done. We'll settle that prediction. And then I'm going to try to find my next 2 video gamers on the Friday night. GgMaChine is the correct outcome. What did you guys vote for? 72-28. Yeah, okay. All right, next up, a TVP. The problematic matchup right now, guys. The matchup that is ruining all of our excitement. Gem, thank you so much, Gem. Gem, you too should have waited. Guys, if you wait 18 minutes, it's cheaper and there is a jackpot. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. It's very sweet of you. You guys are so impatient. So impatient. Trigger is our Canadian Protoss. Bunny is, of course, our Korean Terran and one of my all-time favorite Korean gamers. Now, we are 18 minutes ahead of schedule, guys, so there is a chance that they're not quite ready yet. Then again, it is very late over in Korea, so maybe they're very happy that we're a little bit ahead of schedule. And there is a big promotion that they run once a year. Some of you guys may remember it. Wait, that is not the comment. I don't even think that's correct. I thought I made a new comment, guys. Yeah, okay. I guess last year I just wrote it wrong. I think that is the one. And I believe that starts in 18 minutes. Honestly, last year I thought it was very sick. I thought it was incredibly nice of Twitch. We were basically just, yeah. I guess no one corrected me last year. I guess September does kind of work, right? Because of the month September. That is with a P, to be fair. You know. Yes. We go Korea. Indy is asking me if we are going to Korea, and that is indeed where we will go. Now I just need to find my gamers. Yeah, like what's up? I mean, come on. Honestly, I think both works. I think SUP works, SUB works. You guys can give me a hard time for a lot of stuff, but not that. Come on. Honestly, I think the one with the P is even better. Yeah. The little Valorant promotion that they ran last year, I think was honestly very fun. We got proper lucky a few times. Somebody gifting like 10 subs and then I got like plus 20 subs as a bonus. It was really sick. It was legitimately very sick. I see both of my video gamers online. I'm gonna let them know that we are already done with the first series. Hi, Bunny. There's one already done, so we can start in 5 minutes. Month of the stand-up paddleboard. Oh, Indy will host. Be right back, 5 minutes. Alright guys, I'm gonna take a very, very tiny break and then I'll be back with our second series of the night. Trigger versus Bunny coming up. The problematic matchup. I'm not ready. It's gonna be painful, isn't it, guys? I'll see you soon. Second best of 5 coming your way. As we get closer to Clem, Serral.